For centuries, an empire of terror swept across the known world, leaving nothing but ashes in its wake. Against this unstoppable force, one last bastion of defiance stood, a kingdom forged in fire. At Ain Jalut, the apocalypse met its match. The fate of civilizations hung in the balance. This is the story of how an unlikely force halted the greatest empire humanity had ever witnessed. From the desolate steppes, a storm of cavalry emerged, unparalleled in its ferocity and reach. Across Asia, through Persia, and into the Levant, kings and empires crumbled before them. Their armies were legends, their conquests absolute. They were perceived as an invincible, divine scourge. The whispers of their advance paralyzed populations. Fear, their most potent weapon, preceded every charge. From China to Eastern Europe, the Mongol tide seemed destined to engulf all in its path. No city was safe, no army could stand. The known world braced for its inevitable, final conquest. Yet, in the shadow of ancient pyramids, lay a kingdom often underestimated, a land of paradoxes. Its soldiers, once slaves, were now the elite, highly disciplined protectors of their adopted home. How could this seemingly inferior Mamluk Egypt, a fraction of the Mongol Empire, possibly prevail? They were outnumbered, outmaneuvered, yet they harbored a resolve that would defy all logic. The answer would be forged in fire and blood, on a dusty plain in the heart of Palestine. Ain Jalut, the spring of Goliath, a name that would forever echo with the clash of titans. This was not merely a battle, it was a desperate gamble for the survival of entire civilizations. Here, two ideologies, two destinies, would collide in an epic confrontation that reshaped the world. Had Ain Jalut fallen, the Mongol tide might have swept through North Africa and into Europe. Centuries of knowledge, art, and societal progress hinged on this one pivotal, bloody encounter. This isn't just history, it's a cinematic saga of courage, strategy, and ultimate, desperate triumph. Join us as we unravel the dramatic tale of how Egypt destroyed the Mongols and saved the Western world. From the windswept plains of Mongolia, an unstoppable storm gathered. It would soon engulf the known world. A single visionary leader emerged, forging disparate nomadic tribes into history's most feared war machine. Genghis Khan united the fractured peoples of the steppe. A new, terrifying power was born from unity. This wasn't just an army. It was a perfectly honed instrument of conquest, driven by relentless ambition. Across continents, empires crumbled. From China's walls to Persia's sands, no kingdom was safe. Their tactics were revolutionary: lightning speed, disciplined cavalry, and a rain of deadly arrows. Unyielding discipline and unparalleled mobility made the Mongol war machine virtually invincible on open ground. But beyond steel and tactics, they wielded terror. Their reputation preceded them, paralyzing all resistance. Their relentless advance swallowed nations whole. Each victory fueled the next, expanding their terrifying dominion. The mighty Khwarezmian Empire fell, its cities ravaged, becoming a chilling testament to Mongol ferocity. Covering impossible distances with breathtaking speed, the Mongol armies arrived where least expected, striking fear. Even after Genghis Khan's death, the momentum never ceased. His heirs continued the relentless expansion. Under his sons and grandsons, the empire continued to swell, stretching its reach across the civilized world. From the Pacific shores to Eastern Europe, the Mongol Empire became the largest contiguous land empire ever known. Then came Hulagu Khan, grandson of Genghis. His ambition pointed squarely towards the Islamic heartland. His grandfather's vision, refined by his brother Mongol, was clear: conquer and subjugate the West. Hulagu assembled an army unlike any seen before, a force so vast it overshadowed all previous Mongol campaigns. The thunderous march began. Across mountains and deserts, this apocalyptic horde moved with terrifying purpose. Their ultimate prize, the ancient cities of Persia and Mesopotamia, leading to the Jewel of Baghdad. First, the impregnable assassin fortresses crumbled. No stronghold, however remote, could defy their might. Their brutal efficiency was absolute. Mercy was a weakness, total destruction the preferred method of control. The shadow of the horde stretched across Mesopotamia, its next target, the magnificent city of Baghdad. For centuries, Baghdad stood as the glorious intellectual and cultural heart of the Islamic world. Yet its caliph, al-Mustasim, fatally underestimated the Mongols, ignoring their monstrous threat. Hulagu's army encircled Baghdad. The siege was brutal, unrelenting, a death knell for a proud city. In February 1258, Baghdad fell. The city of wisdom was reduced to ashes, its treasures plundered. The horror was unimaginable. Libraries burned, scholars perished, and rivers ran black with precious ink. News of Baghdad's demise sent shockwaves. Fear gripped the entire Islamic world, believing the end was nigh. The Mongols seemed truly invincible, an apocalyptic force destined to sweep away all civilization before them. But one defiant power remained, poised to challenge the seemingly unstoppable Mongol tide: Mamluk Egypt. Amidst ancient sands, a formidable power emerged. The Mamluks, not born to royalty, but forged by destiny. From distant lands, bought as slaves, these boys were brought to Egypt, destined for a new life. Their unique system transformed captives into elite warriors. A brutal path, yet a crucible of unparalleled strength. Through sheer will and military might, these slave soldiers seized control, establishing their own powerful dynasty. Their state was a warrior state, built on an iron hierarchy. Loyalty and martial prowess were paramount. Each Mamluk was a product of relentless discipline, honed for battle from boyhood, a weapon of the state. Military excellence wasn't just a goal, it was their very identity, ingrained deep within their Mamluk soul. Their bodies were temples of war, enduring daily torment. Unimaginable physical tests shaped them. Every weapon, every tactic, mastered through endless repetition. Their skill was unmatched, their movements deadly. Horse and rider became one. The Mamluk cavalry, a legendary force, feared across the known world. Iron discipline was the bedrock. Every command, every formation, executed with unwavering, perfect precision. Beyond the training, a profound brotherhood formed. They were family, bound by shared hardship and purpose. Their commanders were tactical geniuses, constantly evolving strategies. They understood the brutal art of war deeply. Always ready, always alert, Egypt's Mamluks maintained a state of perpetual readiness against any threat. Their spirit was indomitable, forged in countless battles. They would fight to the last breath for their land. At the helm stood Sultan Qutuz, a Mamluk himself, a leader burdened by the world's survival.
Watch the footwork.
He understood hardship. Having risen from slavery to sovereignty, his resolve was as unyielding as iron. His steady hand guided Egypt, facing an existential threat. Qutuz alone bore the weight of destiny. Alongside him, a future legend, Baybars, a cunning and audacious commander, known for his relentless ferocity. His ambition was matched only by his tactical brilliance. Baybars was a rising star, a force unto himself. Together, Qutuz and Baybars represented Egypt's formidable shield. Their combined might was nation's last hope. The Mongol tide had swallowed empires. From the east, a storm unlike any seen before crashed upon the world. Kingdoms crumbled, entire civilizations vanished under the Mongol horde. Fear gripped the hearts of all. Only Egypt remained, a natural stronghold, guarded by deserts and the sea. The final bulwark stood. The immense burden of salvation fell upon their shoulders. They were the last defense, the final frontier. The fate of the entire Islamic world, North Africa, and the holy cities rested solely on their resolve. Failure meant utter annihilation, not just for Egypt, but for countless cultures and future generations. Beyond the Levant, even Europe watched with bated breath. Egypt's stand protected their very existence. The eyes of the world turned to Egypt, to these Mamluks. Would they hold the line? Could they prevail? The stage was set for an epic confrontation. Egypt's iron shield prepared to meet the Mongol storm. Egypt, a realm of Mamluk power, stood on the precipice, facing an existential threat from the east. Sultan Qutuz had swiftly consolidated power, but the weight of a shattered Islamic world pressed heavily upon him. The Mongol tide, seemingly unstoppable, had swept across continents, leaving destruction and terror in its wake. Memories of past defeats, the fall of Baghdad and Damascus, haunted the Mamluks, fueling their deepest fears. A stark choice emerged: submission or annihilation. But Qutuz envisioned a third, audacious path. Then, the inevitable arrived. Hulagu's envoys, bearing a grim message, entered Cairo, their confidence palpable. Their presence radiated an aura of invincible power, accustomed to unquestioning deference from conquered peoples. The imperial scroll unfurled, its message direct, brutal: submit to Mongol rule or face utter destruction. Hulagu's chilling words echoed: "We are God's army on earth." He demanded immediate, unconditional surrender. The ultimatum was clear, a stark choice for Egypt's leaders: bend the knee or perish, like countless others. But Qutuz's unwavering gaze met the Mongol arrogance. His resolve hardened, a fire ignited within him. Qutuz's defiant reply was brutal. The envoys executed, their heads mounted for all to witness. No surrender. Cairo's populace reacted with terror. This audacious act declared war, a desperate gamble against overwhelming odds. The Mamluk Council convened in urgency, their chamber filled with heated debate, fear, and desperate arguments. Opinions were sharply divided. Some favored retreat, others a bold stand. The weight of command was immense. Qutuz delivered a powerful address, reminding them of their sacred duty, igniting a flicker of shared resolve. The decision was made. They would march to meet the Mongols head-on, fighting for survival and their faith. This was a monumental gamble for the very soul of Islam, a clash that would define an era. Qutuz rode tirelessly, personally appealing to disparate Mamluk factions, urging them to unite against the common foe. Crucially, the formidable Baybars, a legendary warrior and rival, returned, pledging his invaluable sword to Qutuz. Old rivalries were set aside. Unification under one banner, the rallying cry for a desperate defense, echoed. From across Egypt and Syria, warriors answered the call. The Mamluk army began to swell, growing in strength. Diverse warriors, united by a singular, grim purpose, prepared to defend their lands against the Mongol horde. Qutuz, once a desperate leader, had become the unifier, forging a desperate alliance against the ultimate threat. Horsemen assembled, their steeds restless. Lances were readied, scimitars sharpened, preparing for the inevitable clash. Logistics were paramount. Supply trains, laden with provisions and vital water, were carefully prepared for the arduous journey. Training exercises intensified, sharpening skills, honing formations, readying every warrior for the brutal confrontation. A palpable tension hung in the air, a silent acknowledgement of the monumental task awaiting every single man. Prayers were offered, final farewells whispered. Every soldier understood the immense personal stakes involved. The Mamluk army, a desperate yet formidable host, now stood poised, ready to confront its destiny. Under the pale light of dawn, the Mamluk army began its fateful march, leaving Cairo's safety behind. The long march began, a pilgrimage of defiance. Each step carried them closer to an uncertain, bloody fate. Across the arid desert sands of Sinai, discipline held the army together, facing the brutal elements. Then, through the ancient, hallowed lands of Palestine, each landmark a whisper of history and conflict. Scout riders pushed far ahead, their eyes constantly scanning the horizon, anticipating any sudden Mongol presence. Maintaining formation, discipline was paramount. Every warrior understood the fragile balance of their existence. Rumors of Mongol strength and savagery spread through the ranks, a constant psychological test for their resolve. But Qutuz's leadership remained a beacon of unwavering hope, his steadfast belief fortifying his men. The psychological burden on commanders was immense, knowing the lives of an entire civilization rested on their choices. Yet, the resolve to protect their homeland, their families, and their faith propelled them ever onward. Finally, they emerged into the Jezreel Valley, ancient ground steeped in countless battles. The stage was set. Ahead lay the plain of Ain Jalut, the spring of Goliath, a name echoing with past epic confrontations. This was the chosen battlefield, the crucible where destiny awaited them, where history would be forged. The stage was set for an epic, decisive confrontation, the Mamluks ready to face the Mongol horde. In the valley of Ain Jalut, the fate of empires would collide. Dawn broke with a chilling promise. The Mamluks, masters of war, stood ready, their discipline a stark contrast to the impending chaos. Then, the earth trembled. The Mongol tide, relentless and fearsome, surged towards the Mamluk lines. Baybars, the Sultan's greatest general, watched. His audacious plan, a desperate gamble, was now underway. He would not meet the Mongols head-on in a brute force struggle. He planned a deception, a deadly trap. Success hinged entirely on unwavering Mamluk discipline, a characteristic the Mongols rarely encountered. The initial move, a vanguard of Mamluk light cavalry, a seemingly meager force, rode out to engage. Arrows hissed through the air as the first clash erupted. a probing attack designed to draw them in. The Mongols, true to form, responded with aggressive confidence. They saw an easy, swift victory unfolding. Then the Mamluk feigned retreat commenced, a deliberate, controlled withdrawal designed to bait the predator. With a precise command from Baybars, the Mamluks began their dangerous dance, each movement calculated. Unlike a panicked rout, this was a disciplined maneuver. The Mamluks slowly receded, beckoning the enemy. The Mongol commanders, scenting blood, ordered a full pursuit. They believed the Mamluks were broken. The Mamluks steadily fell back, a living lure. The Mongols followed, blinded by their perceived advantage. Even in retreat, Mamluk archers maintained pressure, ensuring the Mongols remained hungry for retribution. Confidence swelled within the Mongol ranks. They envisioned a swift, decisive annihilation, as always. Deeper and deeper the Mongols plunged into the valley's throat. Baybar's trap was beginning to snap shut. The bait was taken. The Mamluks had successfully drawn the main Mongol force precisely where they wanted them. Driven by their relentless aggression, the Mongol lines stretched thin, a critical tactical error. The vast Mongol army, once a cohesive unit, now resembled a sprawling serpent, vulnerable to attack. The Mamluk light cavalry precisely controlled the pace, ensuring the Mongols were perfectly positioned. The terrain itself became an ally, with hidden ravines and rises concealing the Mamluks' devastating surprise. Unsuspecting, the Mongol vanguard entered the choke point. The trap's jaws were about to close. From his vantage point, Baybars saw it. The perfect moment had arrived. The signal was given. The entire Mongol war machine, drawn into the valley, was now caught in a deadly tactical cul-de-sac. The air thrummed with unspoken tension. Both sides poised, one for destruction, the other for deliverance. The Mongols, fully committed, were now deep within the ambush zone, their lines stretched and vulnerable. Then, the valley erupted. A chilling chorus of Mamluk horns signaled the ambush's brutal commencement. From concealed ridges, a devastating storm of Mamluk arrows rained down, sowing panic and confusion. The Mongol vanguard reeled, caught completely by surprise. Their disciplined pursuit turned into sudden chaos. From the flanks, Mamluk heavy cavalry, the elite of Egypt, charged with terrifying force, smashing Mongol cohesion. Each Mamluk strike was precise, devastating. Their armored might shattered the Mongol advance, turning the tide. The Mongols found themselves in a crushing pincer, surrounded by coordinated Mamluk attacks on all sides. Panic spread through the Mongol ranks. Their swift, adaptable tactics were useless in this meticulously crafted trap. The Mamluk charge was not just a blow, it was a hammer, driving the Mongols into an inescapable vice. Baybars himself, a whirlwind of steel and courage, led his personal guard into the thickest of the fighting. The Mamluks fought as one, a testament to their training and leadership, maintaining relentless pressure. Mongol attempts to rally were met with brutal efficiency. Their famed ferocity was now trapped and broken. Then Baybars unleashed his hidden reserves. A fresh, devastating blow struck the Mongol rear, sealing their doom. The sudden influx of fresh Mamluks shattered any remaining Mongol resistance, turning battle into massacre. Mongol lines crumbled, their once invincible reputation dissolving amidst the disciplined Mamluk onslaught. Baybar's leadership was absolute, his tactical brilliance undeniable. He was master of this brutal symphony. The battlefield became a testament to Mamluk superiority. Every maneuver, every strike, a part of Baybars's plan. The Mongols, once invincible, were shattered. Baybar's masterpiece had saved a world from their relentless conquest. The Mamluk center, once unyielding, now fractured under the Mongol horde's relentless onslaught. Hope dwindled fast. Every warrior fought for their life, but exhaustion began to claim even the most steadfast Mamluk. Retreat loomed. Sections of the Mamluk line disintegrated, their banners falling, signaling an imminent collapse. Desperation set in. The initial strategic retreat turned into a desperate flight, with Mongol arrows raining down on their backs. Veteran commanders watched, horrified, as their formations dissolved. The tide had turned decisively against them. Sultan Qutuz surveyed the carnage, witnessing his valiant Mamluks falter. A desperate moment demanded a bold leader. He saw not defeat, but an opportunity. A leader's resolve ignited in the face of utter devastation. The decision was made. He would not stand by as his army shattered. He would lead the charge. With a determined gaze, Qutuz unsheathed his scimitar, a beacon of defiance amidst the swirling dust. Against all odds, Sultan Qutuz plunged directly into the fray, rallying his personal guard with him. His personal guard, the Bahri Mamluks, followed their Sultan, a wave of courage against the Mongol tide. Then a roar, heard above the din of battle. Qutuz cried out, "O Islam!" Leading by example, Qutuz himself engaged the enemy, his blade a blur, a true warrior king. His presence electrified the faltering Mamluks. Hope, almost extinguished, now flared anew in their hearts. Seeing their Sultan fight on, commanders rallied their broken units. The retreat had become a counterattack. The Mamluk lines, reforged by Qutuz's roar, transformed from a desperate flight into an unstoppable charge. The Sultan fought like a demon, his divine intervention inspiring unparalleled ferocity among his loyal Mamluks. The Mamluk heavy cavalry, now organized, slammed into the Mongol flanks, turning the tide with brutal force. Momentum shifted dramatically. The Mamluk counterattack, fueled by rage and desperation, pushed the Mongols back. For God and Islam, the battle cries echoed across the valley, a terrifying promise of retribution. The battle devolved into a brutal melee, hand-to-hand combat, where only the fiercest would prevail. Every inch of ground was contested with savage determination. No quarter was given in this desperate struggle. The sheer savagery of the close-quarters fighting defied description. It was a crucible of men and steel. The Mongols, accustomed to easy victories, now faced an enemy possessed by an unyielding, righteous fury. The previously unshakable Mongol formation began to splinter, succumbing to the relentless Mamluk onslaught. The Mamluk wings, previously retreating, now curled inwards, threatening to encircle the Mongol horde completely. The Mamluks executed their classic pincer movement, trapping the Mongol army within a deadly crescent. Mongol commanders roared orders, but their men were now caught in a relentless Mamluk vice. Attempts to escape the trap were met with brutal efficiency. The Mamluks sealed every desperate escape route. The systematic destruction of the trapped Mongols began. There was no escape from their vengeful enemy. Mamluk archers rained down devastating volleys, turning the encircled Mongols into an exposed, living target. Resistance was futile. The Mamluks, driven by vengeance, showed no mercy to their trapped adversaries. the field became a graveyard. Mongol power, once thought invincible, was systematically being dismantled here. Kutuz oversaw the annihilation, ensuring the Mongol threat was utterly eradicated. No half measures would suffice. The Mongol standard, symbol of their conquering empire, fell, signaling a complete and utter collapse. The remaining Mongols broke, scattering in every direction, desperate to escape the relentless Mamluk wrath. No retreat would be unpunished. Mamluk cavalry relentlessly pursued the fleeing horde, ensuring no escape. Surrender was not an option for these Mongols, who had brought such devastation to the Muslim world. Sultan Kutuz, triumphant, raised his bloodied sword as the Mamluk army roared in collective victory. The Mamluk banner, once almost fallen, now stood high above the battlefield, a symbol of freedom. The Battle of Ain Jalut concluded, leaving behind a field of dead and a world forever changed. Kutuz, the unlikely savior, had broken the Mongol myth of invincibility and secured his people's future. The cost was immense, but the victory was absolute. Egypt had destroyed the seemingly unstoppable Mongol horde. Ain Jalut stands as a testament to courage, leadership, and the day Egypt saved the Western world. The dust settled over Ain Jalut, revealing an unthinkable triumph. The Mamluks had achieved the impossible. Mongol commanders, once titans of an unstoppable empire, now stood humiliated, their forces decimated and scattered. This was more than just a battle. It was a psychological blow to an empire believed to be invincible. News of the Mamluk victory spread like wildfire, a desperate hope igniting across the terrified region. From Cairo to Damascus, the immediate relief was palpable, a collective sigh escaping a world held captive. Jubilation erupted. The spectre of Mongol conquest, which had haunted for decades, was finally broken. Kutuz had delivered salvation, positioning the Mamluks as the saviors of the Islamic world and beyond. Ain Jalut shattered the myth of Mongol invincibility, a psychological barrier that had crippled resistance. For generations, no army had truly stood against the Mongol horde. Now, one had decisively defeated them. The perception of their overwhelming power began to erode, replaced by a nascent courage in their enemies. Resistance movements, long suppressed by fear, found new life, emboldened by the Mamluks' extraordinary success. The geopolitical landscape shifted dramatically. The tide of Mongol expansion had finally reached its ultimate high water mark. For the Mongols, Ain Jalut was a profound shock, forcing a re-evaluation of their conquest strategies and capabilities. Across Europe, a collective sigh of relief. The Mongol threat to the Western world had been decisively averted. The Middle East was redefined. The Mamluks were no longer merely defenders, but emerging as a dominant regional power. Syrian cities, long under Mongol rule, rejoiced in their Mamluk liberators, reclaiming their heritage. The Ilkhanate retreated, licking its wounds, but the memory of Ain Jalut would forever haunt their ambitions. New alliances were forged, old enmities re-evaluated. Cairo became the undisputed political heart of the region. The hero's welcome for Kutuz, though grand, masked brewing internal power struggles within the Mamluk Sultanate. Even amidst victory, ambition festered. Baybars, a pivotal general, coveted the ultimate power for himself. On their return journey, far from the watchful eyes of Cairo, the conspiracy against Kutuz reached its grim climax. The architect of Mamluk salvation was betrayed, assassinated by his own generals, hungry for his powerful throne. Thus, Baybars rose to power. Ain Jalut saved a world, but within Mamluk ranks, victory bred bloody ambition. Ain Jalut was more than a battle. It was a seismic turning point, echoing through centuries, reshaping the very fabric of global power. The Mongol tide, seemingly unstoppable, had threatened to engulf the known world, pushing relentlessly towards the sun-drenched lands. Here, at Ain Jalut, the Mamluks delivered a shattering blow, halting an empire whose reach spanned continents. Had the Mongols continued, North Africa's rich civilizations and vital trade routes lay exposed, vulnerable to conquest. Cities like Cairo, Alexandria, and Tunis faced unimaginable devastation, their cultural heritage teetering on the brink. The Levant, already a contested land, would have been completely absorbed, its historical identity forever altered under Mongol rule. Sacred sites and diverse communities in the Holy Land faced an existential threat, their very existence hanging by a thread. Ain Jalut forged a shield, protecting the entire Islamic heartland from the Mongols' further devastating westward advance. Beyond the Levant, a terrifying question loomed. Could Europe have survived another, perhaps final, Mongol onslaught? Europe had already reeled from earlier Mongol invasions. Its fractured kingdoms were ill-prepared for a renewed, full-scale assault. With North Africa as a new base, the Mediterranean Sea itself could have become a highway for a Mongol invasion force. Emerging European states, still finding their footing, would have faced an existential crisis, potentially extinguishing their nascent development. Thus, the Mamluk victory indirectly protected Europe, allowing its future trajectory and cultural evolution to continue unimpeded. Ain Jalut preserved Islamic civilization, a vibrant beacon of knowledge and culture that might otherwise have been extinguished. The golden age of Islamic scholarship, its scientific advancements and philosophical texts, was saved from widespread destruction. Vital trade routes across the Silk Road and Indian Ocean continued to flourish, fostering economic and cultural exchange. The continuity of art, architecture, and literature, cornerstones of Islamic identity, was assured by this pivotal victory. The Mamluks became the unbreakable shield, not just for Islam, but for the interconnected world against further Eastern incursions. Their strategic genius, exemplified by Baybar's cunning tactics, demonstrated a mastery of warfare rarely seen in history. This unwavering courage, against an enemy considered invincible, became a legend, inspiring future generations across the lands. The Mamluks left an enduring legacy, not just as warriors, but as saviors, whose actions profoundly shaped geopolitical destiny. Ain Jalut cemented their place in history as the unlikely heroes who literally saved multiple civilizations from oblivion. Their victory stands as a testament to the power of resolve and strategic brilliance against overwhelming odds. The sands of Ain Jalut hold a story, a pivotal moment forever etched into the annals of world history. The Mongol Empire, an unstoppable force, threatened to engulf the entire Western world. No one could halt them. With Baghdad fallen, Egypt stood as the last bastion. Beyond it, Europe lay vulnerable to destruction. But at Ain Jalut, the tide turned. Here, a desperate battle irrevocably altered global destiny. Who were these defenders? The Mamluks, often overlooked, emerged as the unsung heroes of this epic struggle. From humble origins, their loyalty forged in fire, they stood defiant against an unimaginable empire. Against overwhelming numbers and brutal tactics, their resolve was tested but never broken. They would fight. They didn't just win a battle, they shattered an illusion, changing the course of destiny for generations. Ain Jalut is a testament to unwavering resolve. When all seems lost, courage can redefine the possible. More than just bravery, strategic brilliance outmaneuvered the legendary Mongol commanders. It was a masterclass. The echoes of Ain Jalut remind us defiance, when coupled with skill, possesses enduring power over tyranny. Join a leading analysis channel for more epic cinematic military history. Subscribe now and never miss a story. Like this video if you learned something new. Comment below with your thoughts on Ain Jalut's impact. Share this vital history with others. Help us grow a leading analysis channel community of history enthusiasts.